It's now time for the home financing update, courtesy of First Republic Mortgage Bankers.
And we were talking off mic about these ridiculous gas prices. I believe we're averaging something like $4.10 a gallon nationwide. What impact does the high cost of gasoline have on people's personal economies?
Well, me and Eddie were just talking about that, and that $4 a gallon price point is really hitting people. It's psychologically a number that is really hit people when they're now filling up their tanks. But $4 a gallon, people are always wondering, economists, what number is going to make Americans do something? And $4 a gallon, all of a sudden now, everybody's talking to me about gasoline, about how they have to save money. People are now looking for ways to save money. Now, what has that done for us? It's really increased the number of people who've been calling to find out about saving money. And Eddie's been talking to those people. So, Eddie, why don't you let people know what people are inquiring about and how you've been helping them?
Absolutely, Scott. It's amazing being on the front lines at First Republic, having hundreds of people calling me over the last several weeks with the gas price increasing dramatically. And it's really hurting people today, and we see that. Most of the calls that are coming in right now, and Scott knows all too well, are people that have a house for a couple of years, have some equity in their property, but yet they may have done some home improvements, they have some credit card debt, and you know what, with all the other things that are going up around them, the one thing that you can control, or you have control over, is your mortgage payment. So if you really want to save money today, the easiest way to do that is by refinancing and paying off 20 to 30% interest rate credit cards. With the increase in gas and oil prices, it's really putting a lot of pressure on borrowers. And when they come into the bank and I sit with them and I evaluate their financial situation and I go through all their bills, but the one significant thing that they all come in with is, how can I save money? How can I save money, Eddie? And I say, listen, it's real simple. We got to get rid of your credit card debts for one. We got to free up some cash. We have to eliminate the debt that you're paying 20 to 30% and switch it to what I call, and I've always called it, positive debt. Mortgage debt, it's still a debt, folks. It's always going to be a debt. But if you have the option of paying 20 to 30% or 6% now that we're talking about rates, debt, and then get a write-off from Uncle Sam, it's a beautiful thing. And, you know, it's about saving money. And that's what we hear at First Republic. So when you do call us and I speak with you, I'm going to look at your whole total situation. And we got to evaluate on how to save you, the borrower, as much money as possible. And that's what we're here to do. Because everybody feeling gas prices. And Scott, all the members of the First Republic team have been speaking for the last several months about interest rates. Me and Scott were just talking. We were warning borrowers when the rates were 5%. We had the conversation of 5.25%, 5.5%. Then it went to 5.75%. If you're one of those listeners out there and you're hesitating, please take note and look what's going on around you. Educate yourself. Give us a call. Let's see how we can get you locked in to a low fixed rate and save you some money that you will need to fill up at the gas tank.
You know, listen, get the facts. That's what's important, is to get the facts. Eddie is here right now. It's 718-325-5555, 718-325-5555. At the same time as you're maybe looking to sell your car and maybe get yourself a hybrid or something smaller, it's time for you to think about looking at, well, why am I paying so much for something I don't have to pay so much for? Why am I paying 20 to 30% for my credit cards and I don't have to when I have equity in my home? And when we come back, I'm going to talk about those credit cards and how those credit cards plus the gasoline are combined a last straw that have broken your financial camel back. And we're going to rid them up right now. And guys, I'm going to talk about that when we come back.
All right, it's broken the back of your financial camel, I guess. Well, folks, it's pretty simple. Your salary isn't going up, and your personal income, unless you're really one of the very special and lucky few, your personal household income isn't going up. So what we have to do, of course, is eliminate unnecessary expenses. And certainly, as Scott Siskin just said, the elimination of credit cards is first and foremost, or should be first and foremost on your agenda.
First Republic Mortgage Bankers is a licensed mortgage banker, direct lender in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, Florida, Delaware, Maryland, Georgia, South Carolina, headquartered at 110 Jericho Turnpike, Floral Park, New York.